far as we've got. So we've got these all in place now, and I've put my one that I made up in the middle, which was lucky that obviously you've got 5 panels, so that worked out quite well. So if there is a little bit of a difference there, which I think there will be because of the wood, then it kind of will just give it a bit of a feature, I think. So this is all sanded back now. It's taken me absolutely donkey's years, whatever that is. But it does take quite a while, and I haven't sanded it back too much. Do you know what I mean? I've still left kind of like, you know, some of the oldness within it. You know, I haven't gone right back. I've only used 120 grit on some places, and the rest sort of 240. Just made a little repair here. This sort of broke off in there, so I've just glued that in and just clamped that up, ready for overnight. That should be fine. And I've just put this little panel back in and just nailed that in there, which that secures all that in there. Pushed all this in really tight. So obviously, as you know, I had to drill these old kind of like dowels out to get this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace these with new dowels. I bought some ones here. I've got some 6mm. It is actually a 6mm hole, but it's slightly bigger than that. So I'm thinking maybe we'll just pick up a 7mm down. Hopefully that might fit. I don't know. I mean, this is fits fairly well, but it's I don't know. It's just got a bit of a gap there. I don't really want to fill it with anything. Although I could fill it with a bit of the sawdust that we've got. I don't know, I'll get a 7mm and see if that goes in there better. So I've obviously got to replace all these, but what I thought I would do as well is I may as well just replace them all. So like these ones here, I may as well just drill those out and just redowel them, just so that they all look the same, and I think that will look quite nice as well. So we're getting there, folks. What we've got to do now is replace these that are these things here. These are made of pine, I think. They're pretty shot though, so I can just replace those new bits, strips in there. And we're not going to put back this what do you call it, webbing, is it? I can't remember now. Not going to put this back. I'm going to get a solid piece of wood in here, piece of ply, and then we're going to you know, make our seat from that. And that will just go down on top of there and sit on top of these new pieces here, which will sit in between there, and then we'll screw them underneath, make them tight. So there we go, folks. There it is so far. I'm pretty pleased actually so far. It's not so bad. Okay, so there's our new supports in there. What I've also done as well is I've knocked up a few of these, and they're going to give a bit more strength to underneath, because obviously, as you've seen, I'll show you. So as you can see under here, obviously where we've cut this, it's obviously, you know, half of the wood, so obviously that's made it a lot weaker. Somebody else did put some old supports under here, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a similar thing here. I'm going to support this up like this and get that screwed in there, and that will make that a lot tougher, so that's not going to move anywhere. Because otherwise, a bit of jumping about on this seat in it, and that obviously that could split on there fairly easily. So I'm going to get some pilot holes put into here. Now I'm going to get some screws as is, and I'm going to screw them under there. Happy days! Okay, that's made that a lot more secure and stronger. This bench ain't going nowhere. So as you can see, the one that we made has obviously come out a bit darker because obviously this oil brings out the natural grain in the wood. But actually, I think that looks pretty neat actually. And I'm pretty pleased that obviously we had, you know, it wasn't 4 because obviously that would have looked a bit weird. But as there is 5, I think that looks pretty cool.
Up some really nice material to put on this, although I might make a shawl out of it as well.
It's done. This one took quite some time, as you probably gathered, hence it was a two-part video. So if you haven't seen, if you're watching this kind of like, you know, I don't know, years from now, and it's just randomly popped up, you want to go back and find the part one. I haven't kind of listed as part one, but obviously we restored this old 18th century coaching style style. I think, for all intents and purposes, I've not done anything like this before. I think it turned out pretty funky.
Derek.
Definitely deserved a little bit of a trumpet pump it, bro. I'm pretty pleased with it, considering I've probably no doubt done a few things wrong in there that you expert restorers that are watching have found. But, you know, I understand that, and, you know, and I did come across a few little issues, but I managed to kind of get around them, and, you know, I didn't really know. I think I was quite lucky in the sense that there was 5 panels, because obviously the one that I found that off of a really old site, well, not an old website, but, you know, a site that has old furniture bits. And I kind of thought this was like it's an oak piece, Georgian oak, I thought it was, might not be. So I got this panel to try and make up the panel. Initially, I was going to try and fix the broken, missing panel, but I thought that would look worse. So I decided to make a new panel, and again, I think I was pretty lucky in the sense that there was 5 panels, so this one ended up in the middle. Stuck in the middle with you. So that kind of worked out in my favour. It looked like it was meant to be. Well, you know, I won't keep you guys too long now, because I know this is probably another long video. Yesterday's one, I think, was, I don't know, nearly 30 minutes long. And trust me, I cut that down. Like, it was hours long. But a lot of it was kind of repeat process of making the, you know, the veneers, sanding, obviously a lot of sanding, and then just finished it off with a bit of finishing oil. I think that was good because it brought out the grain, and I think that's all it really needed. But I think it looks alright. I don't know what to do with it yet. I don't know whether to keep it in my house or not, or whether to sort of sell it, or I don't know. But please let me know your thoughts on the project, whether you liked it or not, whether you thought I could do anything different or better, or whatever. Any suggestions? Again, I'm not going to do lots of restorations, but every now and again I want to sort of, you know, add a few in, you know, just because I want to expand my abilities if possible. Oh, love a cuppa. And in between doing this, I still managed to squeeze up a couple of little projects, little Christmassy key-ringy things and some rings I did over the last couple of days. And managed to squeeze those in as well. So I've had a little bit of extra time on my hands recently. And so I managed to get a few more videos out for you. So if you haven't seen those ones, there was one I put out on Wednesday, which was me making some Christmas key rings. And the week before that was making some sort of rings out of resin rings, things like that. Check them out. Well, again, folks, I really do hope that you enjoyed this video, this part 2 of me restoring this system. I did put it out there on Instagram to see whether or not you guys wanted me to do that, and the majority of you did. Well, actually, all of you did. Well, I will love you and leave you. Again, thanks for joining me on the channel. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to all of my new subscribers that have come over to the channel. Welcome. Please look back at some of the old videos. If you've just joined us only a week ago or 2 weeks ago or a month ago, there's tons of content on this channel. All sorts of stuff, from feather bowls to restorations to upcycling stuff. All sorts of weird and funky things you'll find. But please keep looking back. There's tons of content there for you guys. And I will keep pushing out videos every Friday. Also, now I'm going to be putting out some Wednesdays that will also include a project in there of some kind as well. Have a fab weekend. I hope to see some of you at the show. If not, I will see you next week. Take care. Ta-ta!